Duet in D, the first part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the first thing about this part is that it is in the key of D. So again, before you start playing this duet and practicing the first part, review the D scale. See where all the notes are. Once we know the D scale, the next thing to do is to look at the rhythms. In measure 3, we have an E half note tied to an eighth note E, followed by a D, C sharp, B. Make sure the note E sounds for 2.5 beats. And what do we aim for? The D comes in on the end of 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Then the next measure, the same rhythm. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. We see that rhythm happening a number of times in this piece and also in the second part. The other rhythm that we should be looking at is the first measure in the third line. Eighth note B, quarter note G, eighth note A, and so forth. Look at that first measure in the third line. The G comes in on the end of 1, the A comes in on the end of 2, the B comes in on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. If you can't figure out a rhythm for a whole measure, it's good to split up the measure in half and go for the first 2 beats and then the last 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. And of course, it looks like, and it is, the same rhythm in the second half of that measure. So that's the first half of the measure. The second half of the measure is same note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that and of 4 goes right into the first beat of the next measure. I will play that whole third line. The last 3 notes on that last measure of the third line again come in on the and of 3. C sharp, D, D sharp, E is the first note on the fourth line. Okay? And the other explanation I would like to say is in the last measure of this piece, the first note, the D, there's a little dot over it. That means staccato. Staccato means to play short. In other words, that D you play like an eighth note. I will play the last 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. If I were to play it as a full quarter note, it would go 1, 2, 3. All right, so whenever you see that dot, you would play a note very short. So now it's your time to practice the first part.